Today we talk about something I don't think I've ever talked about on the Commercial Claims Show: personal property, contents damage. I have been learning a lot about this from some good friends in the industry. Liz, shout out to you. We'll leave your contact information here. But personal property can be very, very complicated, and I want to just give you guys a brief overview of what I have definitely understand of how to really gather personal property. This is a great video for the public adjusters and the insureds and homeowners on really, like, if you suffer a severe damage like a fire loss or a really bad hurricane or anything like that, you got to make sure you get your personal property put together. Don't leave it on the insurance company to put their own list. You need to put your own list to basically, just like on the build back estimate, present to the insurance company, because I'm telling you, they're not going to give you what you actually have in that home. So it takes just a few minor steps, believe it or not, with a lot of steps in between, on how to properly put together a personal property inventory form to present to the insurance company to make sure that you're getting the value of that specific coverage. Let's do it right now on the Commercial Claims Show in 3, in 2, in 1. What's up, advocates? My name is Vince Perry and welcome to the Commercial Claims Show, and I am so excited about the topic that we have for you today. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Commercial Claims Show. I'm your host, Vince Perry, the commercial claims advocate and owner of Elite Resolutions, a public adjusting firm. We're located throughout the country, but I'm here to teach you. I'm here to teach you as much as I can to make sure that you are really getting the full value of this occupation as a public adjuster. But I'm also, of course, here to teach the homeowner to make sure that they understand sort of the claims process as well. And today we're going to talk about personal property. It's really a topic that a lot of people don't normally talk about, because it's actually a topic that most people don't like to even get into. After a severe fire, it becomes very tedious work. However, there is a lot of money in it to make sure that the homeowner is properly getting indemnified for all of the personal property. Now, you walk into a fire, a total loss fire that's been just completely wiped out. It's very difficult and very intimidating. Trust me, I know from my experience, is what the hell do I do to actually start putting this together? Now, in step number 1, you're going to basically want to walk through it with the homeowner to make sure you have an understanding of exactly what was in each room, whether it's the kitchen, the kid's bedroom, or whatever it is. You're going to want to walk through it with them and basically create as much as detailed as you can, a detailed inventory form. So just walk through it with them. I think it's best if you have like a pen and paper, notepad, or whatever it is, go through it with the homeowner and get an understanding. The other thing that you can do is you could record them as well, if they're okay with that, and get an understanding of what was in this room, what was in that room. Start writing everything down, okay? The homeowner should help you do this as well, making sure that they're writing everything down that was in this room. You're gonna wanna know make, model, the year it was purchased, so on and so forth, so that you can have a really good understanding, especially if you have a room that's just completely wiped out and you don't know exactly what the heck was in there. The homeowner's going to know. They're going to tell you. You're going to want to write it down. So for starters, you're going to want to create a detailed inventory form. Now, don't get frustrated, okay? You're not going to come up with your entire list off of this initial walkthrough. You're not going to come up with your entire list off of this detailed inventory form. These are really going to be mainly for a lot of the items that you can't really see. A lot of the items that you're just unsure as to whether they were even in this room or not. You're walking through it with the homeowner and you're getting an idea. They could also be items that are typically in a particular room, like a kitchen or a laundry room or a garage. But you're going to want to just start somewhere. Just get yourself a sheet of paper and start writing down exactly, sort of based on what the homeowner is telling you, what was in that room. But it leads me to number 2, which is probably the most important step of the 5, and that is take photos. Why are you going to take photos? Same thing with the estimates, guys. What I've noticed with the personal property, it's different, it's more tedious, but not that different than just creating your own dwelling estimate, right? So what do you do when you walk through a home and you're putting together a scope of law so that you can do the estimate? You're going through there and you're writing scope notes, right? You're writing all your notes of the drywall and baseboards and tile flooring and popcorn ceiling and so on and so forth. You're doing the same with everything that you can see in there, everything that you can't see, and then you're taking photos. What do the photos do? They back you up to make sure you didn't miss anything. Take photos of every single piece of personal property. Now, most of the time, if you got a severe fire, you had a lot of smoke, a lot of the stuff in that house is going to have to be replaced it's what's called unsalvageable. Now, you'll probably be walking through with a ServPro or with a payout company that might say, hey, you know what, I can clean this. That's a whole other video that I can make. But whatever, you're going to want to basically take photos of basically everything. But remember that you're focusing as the public adjuster and as the homeowner is making sure you're really focusing on the unsalvageable stuff, the stuff that cannot be replaced. So really, you know, anything plastic, anything that's compressed wood, anything that's just edible, like from the food or anything, that stuff is not going to be, but you have to get a list of it. Take photos of every single piece of personal property that is there. Label out. You want to make sure that you see every single piece of information that you have in there. You're going to want to take it back because if you miss it here in the inventory form, you want to have it in the photos for when you put your estimate together on exactly how much all that stuff costs. So make sure, detail the inventory form, take photos. Everybody needs an attorney on their side. So whether you're a public adjuster, a contractor, or anyone else in the insurance claims business, make sure that you have an attorney that you could rely on, that you can go to for questions whenever you need it. That guy for me for the last 12 years has been David Farber. David Farber is the owner of the Farber Law Firm, and he has been there for me from the beginning of my career until now. And I would love for him to be able to help you as well. So make sure you call him at this number here and visit his website so you can learn more about the amazing David Farber of the Farber Law Firm. Guys, this is Vince Perry again, the Commercial Claims Advocate. I really hope that you're enjoying this content so far because wait until you see what happens next. Stay tuned. So once you have your detailed inventory form and once you've got your photos, you're going to upload that to wherever you have to do. And then the next thing is you are going to create an estimate. Now remember, the estimate that you're creating is basically for all of the unsalvageable items. These are the items that need to be replaced, that cannot be cleaned. That's the estimate you're going to put together. Now, I am not an estimator. I don't know too much about estimating. And when we do this, we use exact content. So it's exactament, but strictly for contents. And we do have an estimator that's able to sort of put everything together for us based on the photos and based on our detailed inventory form and based on all of our notes that we put together while we're on the property. So from my understanding, the exact contents actually is able to take any kind of description that you have. Remember, you want to know, that's why you do label out. You want to know exactly what the product is, what the label is. You want to have an idea of when it was purchased, and then Exactimate will sort of build the estimate for you from there. But you want to be detailed here in these two steps so that you could put together that estimate. Once that estimate's complete, it's the same way. You present it to the insurance company and you go back and forth on different items. I will recommend, you've got this, you've got this. Every line item that you have in your estimate, you want to have a photo to back it up. They're going to want to see it. It's very, very important that any line item that you are claiming, you're going to have a photo. Now, if they're little line items, like if it's silverware or if it's just like a group of, I don't know, wipies or whatever it is, you could take those in a group and that's not going to be a big deal. But the second you start to get into high ticket, decent kind of personal property items, and I'm talking just anything over $100 or so, that starts to get into that high level, you're going to want to have a photo to back it up, because the last thing that you want to do is just start putting a bunch of stuff in there and you don't have anything to back it up. And if it really was damaged, they're not going to pay for it because there's no evidence of it. So whatever you have in your estimate, make sure you have a photo to back it up. Are you struggling to find a place for your clients to stay after a catastrophic loss like a fire or mold or anything really severe, and they have no place to stay and you don't really know what to do because that's not your line of work? You need to call Tyler at Ready Stays. They're like the #1 ALE company. They've got properties all over the country and they can match your client with a property of like kind and quality within 24 to 48 hours. Make sure you call my good friend Tyler at Ready Stays and get your client a place to stay with whatever accommodations that they need. Call Tyler at Ready Stays today. Number 4 is now when you start to get into the organization of it, making sure that you have an idea of exactly where these items were and what they're sort of all about. So number 4, I want you to make sure that you organize and you categorize the items by room. You're going to want to categorize them so that you know exactly where those items actually were. Again, it's not that much different than building your normal dwelling estimate. You're going by room and you've got your line items. Same thing with the photos and with the estimate. You're going by room and you have the line items. You have to make sure that you have an idea of exactly where those pieces of contents were. So make sure in your estimate, and I would also say in your photos to prepare you for your estimate, categorize each and every personal property item, categorize them and organize them by room. And last but not least, probably just as important as what I said about the photos, is keep all of your invoices and receipts. You have to keep all of your invoices and receipts, making sure that anything that you don't get here or any, you're going to want to be able to back it up. Again, a lot of times you're not going to be able to find evidence after a very severe fire or after a very severe hurricane, so you want to make sure that you have any invoices and receipts. Also, if you go out and you purchase new items, so you go out and you purchase new items because all your kids' toys are destroyed, and you go out and buy new toys, chances are they're going to actually pay the replacement cost based on what it actually costs for those new toys. So keeping all your invoices and receipts, very important when you're dealing with personal property. I'm going to throw a quick shout out to Tyler Ready Stays, ALE. This is C, personal contents. Make sure coverage D, you're looking after your clients as well, and refer them to Ready Stays, okay? Number one for your personal property, top 5 to do, create a detailed inventory form. Have yourself a notepad or whatever it is that you've got to use. Write down everything that you see. Number 2, take photos. The most important one out of the top 5 is definitely by far to take photos. Number 3 is you're going to put that estimate together based on all your photos and all of your line items. Categorize everything by room and keep all the invoices and receipts, because after you've already detailed everything, if you go out as a homeowner and start purchasing new things based on the things that you've lost, the insurance company should and has to pay you based on those actual invoices, because you're actually replacing the stuff and you couldn't find it for any cheaper. So keep all your invoices and receipts. Personal property, guys, it's really a coverage that a lot of people stay away from because it's tedious and it takes a lot of time, but it's an entire other coverage. It's normally 70% of what coverage A is worth, so there's a lot of money in it. And if you take the time, just a day or two after a storm or a fire or catastrophic loss occurs, to really sit down and go through it with the homeowner and put together that personal property inventory form, there's a lot of money in that, not just for you as a public adjuster, but for you as the homeowner as well. And you don't want to get shortchanged on that either. So that's what we got, guys. Personal property. Good luck with your insurance claim. If you have any questions, please comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and to see if there's any more that we could add to this top 5. Good luck, guys. Thank you for watching. Well, I hope you learned a lot of that show. There is so much in store for you in this channel. If you just fall into that rabbit hole, we've been doing this for 4 years. Click on one of these links here in front of you and see how much more you can learn on the Commercial Claim Show.